The PL Show is brought to you by Kel Charcoal, Kel 360, and Kel Kids Toothpaste. We're here for a reason. I believe a bit of the reason why we're here is to throw little torches to people to lead them through the dark. That's a saying from Whoopi Goldberg. You're welcome to the Kel Toothpaste PL Show. It's proudly brought to you by Kel 360, Kel Charcoal, and Kel Kids Toothpaste. With Kel is always a happy smile. My guest for today is an embodiment of everything that Whoopi Goldberg has said. She throws little torches to lead people through the dark. By the end of the show, you'll get to know why. We'll get to meet my guest shortly. She's the head HR of ATC. That's the American Tower Corporation here in Ghana. She's done it all, seen it all. You'd want to sit and watch. And of course, learn a lot from this phenomenal woman, Letitia Asiedu-Attafuah, my guest. We'll meet her right after the break. Of course, my outfit for today, as always, is brought to you by Kafui Clothing. We'll be right back after the break.
Mommy.
Mama Josie.
Fe.
Different era, better result. Time has changed and time has brought Kel Charcoal Toothpaste, healthy gums, anti-cavity, fresher breath, and it whitens teeth. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste, Sankofa,
Yenchi, Kel Charcoal Toothpaste.
happy smile.
Hello, my friends. My name is Kel Kids Toothpaste.
Wow.
I was made to be gentle on your gum, but protected. I will protect your teeth from cavity, make your teeth whiter, stronger, keep your mouth fresh all day. And best of all, I'm strawberry flavored. So put on a smile and try me.
That's amazing.
Just try me. That's my job.
If you say so, jump on my brush. Makes your teeth stronger, chicky whiter, chicky stronger. Yay! You did it!
I'm glad you like your new toothpaste. Don't forget to brush both day and night.
Kel Kids, happy smile.
Another Sunday is here, and it's time for the Kel Charcoal Toothpaste PL Show. Every Sunday is an exciting Sunday because we get to speak to a phenomenal lady. And today is no exception. Let's welcome our guest for today, Letitia Asiedu-Attafuah. Welcome to the PL Show.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, this Raven.
I've been looking forward
welcome.
to
Thank
talk
you so
to
much.
you and to learn a lot from you. And I must say I'm starstruck already. Thank you very much for agreeing to be part of today's show.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
Let's start off from who Letitia Asiedu-Attafuah is.
I am born to Samuel Ohene Asiedu and the late Salome Dioju Asiedu, both of the Akem Tumfa Etiwa West District of the Eastern Region. Okay. I always like to talk about my hometown because we've come so far as village people, so we're proud to.
I've been to Etiwa. I think we did the jungle warfare school. We did some training there, so at least I know a bit of your hometown.
Yes.
Well, so from where you come from, I'm sure that there's a lot of history from where you've been all the way to here. So let's talk about your childhood.
I'm the first of 4 siblings, and being the first, I had this mandate given to me by my parents to have a responsibility for my younger siblings, and I took it World Cup. If you speak to any of my siblings, they'll tell you Letitia is the only one we know, or even my friends, who enjoys being the oldest. You know, I will claim it and say, you know, I loved my leadership role and I took it seriously. I was actually born in the UK. I was born in Glasgow. where my father had been studying at the time. And after I think about 6 or so years, they resettled back in Ghana. And so I attended Achimota Preparatory School. And after went to St. John's Grammar School as well.
Knowing that you just changed environment, you just come from the UK and come to Achimota School, how did you settle in?
Do you know, that's why I think I'm a roving person, because I really don't even have any turbulent impressions from that. I assimilated. I'm that sort of a person by nature, you know, deeply resilient and deeply focused and deeply determined. So from a very, very young age, you know, I just sort of blend in whatever place I find myself and just get on with it. So I returned to the UK and I went to live with my auntie. And at the time, I thought freedom at last. And it took up a job. My first job was in a bakery, a Jewish bakery. But Dad was in Ghana watching what I was doing. And he sent word to me and said, Letitia, if all you went to the UK to do is work, then you better get back on the next plane and come back to Ghana.
Why?
Because he felt there was more in me than I probably knew for myself. I took his advice and he even helped me pay school fees because I made all sorts of excuses why I couldn't go to school at the time that he needed me to go. And so he put some money in an envelope, gave it to my mum, said, go to school, Letitia. And that was my start of the defining moment, thanks to Daddy. I enrolled in a secretarial course at the City and East London College and started the secretarial course.
After the secretarial course, what then happened in between that?
Oh, I loved my course. I was a teacher's pet. I was a Ghana girl who just sort of gotten into the UK.
What name again were they giving you? Because you're always tagging along with your teacher.
A brown-nosed girl.
What was that?
Brown-nosed meaning you're just sucking up to the teacher. Whatever the teacher says, you want to do it.
Why did they think so?
Because I was a brown-nosed girl. I was very next to the teacher, Layla. I'd never forget Layla. She was an American teacher in London and she really, really had time for me. I paid attention to anything that she wanted from me. And eventually I finished the course and Layla helped me find jobs. And to my amazement, I was offered a job at the BBC as a secretary to 2 personnel officers. Now we know personnel is HR. And then I was offered a secretary job in NatWest Bank. And so now I had something
Why did you choose the BBC instead of the NatWest Bank?
That was Daddy. Okay. Daddy loves BBC. Since it was Daddy who'd pushed me this far, I had to go with him.
Did you like it?
I loved it.
Okay.
It gave me the taste into HR, which now I again reflect back and realize actually I was building the blocks, except I wasn't connecting the dots at the time. Because I used to go to career fairs. I was working in an engineering department. And lo and behold, today, I'm working in technology.
It's a good time to now go to our Seed to Oak segment, proudly brought to you by Kel Kids Toothpaste. Let's get into it.
Brush, 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 brush your teeth. Brush, 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 2 times a day. Brush with Kel Kids.
Hello, my friends. My name is Kel Kids Toothpaste. I was made to be gentle on your gum, but protected. I will protect your teeth from cavity, make your teeth whiter, stronger, keep your mouth fresh all day. And best of all, I'm strawberry flavored. So put on a smile and try me.
That's amazing.
Just try me. That's my job.
If you say so, jump on my brush. Makes your teeth stronger. Chicky, chicky, whiter. Chicky, chicky, stronger. Yay! You did it!
I'm glad you like your new toothpaste. Don't forget to brush both day and night.
Kel Kids. Happy smile.
So that's it. Did you see yourself as a baby?
Gosh, excuse me to say, but I was an ugly baby.
No, you're not. So that's the Seed to Oak segment, proudly brought to you by Kale Kids Toothpaste. You know, it's always a difficulty getting your children to brush their teeth. But with Kale Kids Toothpaste, it has strawberries flavored and it makes it so easy for your children to brush their teeth. And remember also that it's FDA approved. So you can get Kale Kids Toothpaste for your children up to 6 years. It's safe for them to use. You're always acknowledging one person or the other, the role that they've played in your life. It brings me to the issue about how important mentorship is to a young girl, a young boy out there. What would you say?
Absolutely. Mentorship is vital. And this is my clarion call for those of us who have the opportunity to pay forward, to touch somebody who doesn't even know that they need to be touched, then I will really strongly invite us to be that person acting as a mentor to bring people along. I didn't have any plan, as it were, on where I was going in my career journey. I was just blessed to have people, be it Dad, Mom, Layla, and in my HR career, the one who actually got me on the road was Sharon Lewis James. I'll never forget her. I recently visited the UK and I had to let her know how I felt about her because I felt, you know, with coronavirus and everything else, it really gives you time to reflect. And I was really pleased I was able to extend my sincere appreciation to her when I had attained a fellowship of CIPD UK, which she had at the time that she was holding my hand, which I have today. The one important person that I haven't spoken about is my husband, Harry. Without Harry, all of this wouldn't actually take place. I was working still.
And you were married then?
And I was married and I had the children.
Okay.
And I was pursuing all of this formal study as well. And, you know, Harry would have the children. Christmas Day, it would be like, you know, the roast is in the oven. Somebody look at it because I have an assignment to hand in the new year, that sort of thing. And the children as well, you know, watching how they were, you know, seeing what Mommy was doing. I don't know. I look at it now and know that it's actually helped them be the adults that they are today. So.
And it takes us straight to the 360 segment, proudly brought to you by Kel 360 Toothpaste. And you know that with Kel 360, it's safe for the entire family from 6 all the way to granny. And it also gives you that fresh breath all day. Also FDA approved. You need to get it for yourself. But let's take a look at Letitia Asiedu-Attafuah 360.
Letitia Asiedu-Attafuah is an experienced HR practitioner with over 2 decades of experience in companies both home and abroad. Born in Glasgow, UK, Letitia had her early years in the UK. Upon return to Ghana, she attended Achimota Preparatory and St. John's Grammar School in Accra. She later pursued a master's in HRM degree at the London Guildhall. She has worked with companies like MTN Ghana, Casapreco Company Limited, and currently as head of HR at American Tower Corporation. Her late mom, who showed her and her siblings the importance of having purpose and that as a woman, you can do whatever you put your mind to, remains her greatest inspiration.
Letitia is a mother and a work colleague to me and to everyone. Her energy and drive pushes you out of your comfort zone. She lights up the room wherever she goes.
She has a way of encouraging you. She's always coming up with wonderful ideas that at the end of the day, when it is implemented, comes out so well.
We will be so out or encourage you. I will normal way. Nipa say no tenasicha. I many people be so yeding. Edi tika kra meka. Pedi asen and crying. Yamen kano. Amen.
Did I see tears in your eyes? Why? You're surprised to hear that?
Well, yeah, you just do you, right? I even sitting here today, I find it's like, why me? I just do what I feel is the right thing to do as a Christian. I think something I haven't mentioned earlier. It's my deep faith in God, and that being my guiding principle. After all, we rise by lifting others.
Yeah.
And, you know.
Let's fast forward now to when you left UK, came to Ghana, HR practice from then till now. Let's talk about it.
Yes, I had a baptism of fire. So I actually came to Ghana inadvertently, but thank God I did.
Why?
Mommy
What
fell
happened?
unwell.
Okay.
Mommy fell unwell. Mommy had a stroke. And so there we were all overseas. And I couldn't bring myself to think Dad and Mom were here on their own, even though she had her siblings who were doing everything that they could, that there was none of her own children around. Those were turbulent times. Because at the time, I returned with my younger son, and the older one, the dean, stayed with Harry. So we just had a baptism of fire. And it's where I always say, it really does take a village to nurture everyone. Not only did I need the support, Nathan, my son, also needed the support. And therein came my sister-in-law, Jackie Obing Ansong, and her husband, Mr. Ansong, Kwame Ansong. They were just, and my mother-in-law, they were just lifesavers. The remarkable Amabene Amponsa, she's an CHRO at MTN today. She had gone on maternity leave at the time. And so I was offered the opportunity to step into her shoes. I know people at the time. I know. They were asking, who is this girl who's just turned up and taken this big job? Who is she connected to? Who does she know? Who is she sleeping with? Unfortunately, that's what happens in Ghana. But I'm here to dispel that myth. Some of us is the grace of God. God is our godfather, still is our sponsor. And, our hard work will open doors for us.
And then from there, we went to Casapreco.
Oh, yes. I was called by the owner of Casapreco. And I was very humbled, Dr. Kwabneji. And he said he'd heard about me. And he wanted me to come work in this organization. And they invited me over to come and set up the HR team, which I did, to the best of my ability. I stayed there for about 4 years. And I remember Dr. Kwabneji used to say, that's how he used to call me, the way you're so energized. He used to say I was a sales girl even. Again, I'm in HR. I'm finding myself in other spaces, when the marketing team are going somewhere, you'll find me there, just trying to understand what the business is and what impact I could make. So what I'm trying to say here is HR is a conventional role where we recruit and, we do all those traditional HR roles, but really, you're a business enabler. So you must be in the heart of the business to understand what the business needs and apply yourself accordingly. No point sitting in the office shoving paper from left to right. If today we need to be selling drinks or we need to be promoting a new product, as an HR person, bring the skills that you have to that particular problem that the business is facing and see what you can do to, create a solution. So that's the sort of approach I have.
So from Casapreco, let's fast forward to ATC. Did we do anything in between before ATC?
No. Okay. It was ATC.
How did you land ATC then?
Yes.
HR.
Another headhunting. I've always been headhunted into my jobs, coincidentally. And someone called me from an agency, he was in the UK, and said ATC was looking for, at the time, it was an HR business partner. And I just said, it doesn't matter. This is a technology space, the space that I had left before when I was in MTN. And so I would be interested to be considered. And at the end of the interview process, the CEO for the Africa region at ATC said, Letitia, your profile means we just have to give you this head of HR role. And so, you're not going to start as a business partner as we're thinking you would. We'll just let you assume this role. And I did. Wow. And I'm still in this role 7 years on. My role was obviously, embedding our high performance culture, looking for local talent, creating opportunities, supporting the executive team, that sort of thing. I don't know whether you know what ATC does.
No,
okay.
Please tell me.
So we are the passive infrastructure tower operations. We're very profitable and market leading organization. I believe we're even the premier infrastructure company in Ghana. And we've won multiple awards as an organization, of which I could take a little bit credit, because if we don't have good people, we wouldn't be winning. Absolutely. So I always sort of find myself behind those awards to say, you know, our people are definitely the magic source that makes our organization grow and thrive.
You recruit a lot. Do you get a sense that the kind of resource that we have in terms of people graduating from school and looking for jobs and all, is it up there in terms of expectations as an HR practitioner?
I'm glad you asked this question, because recently I had a cohort of national service and interns that I was interacting with just about a couple of weeks ago. And I asked them, how do you find what you're being taught in the universities? And they all expressed concern that it was heavily theoretical without, you know, a lot of practical insights into how the world of business works. So therein lies our challenge. And perhaps I can appeal to whoever our, you know, education bodies or our review panels are on how education is submitted to our young people, so that, you know, it can be practicalized. We need to revisit, we need to rethink, we need to reimagine the way education is actually taking place in the country, because if we're not careful, we may be left behind. Everything has accelerated since COVID-19. We don't want our young people to be left behind, because they're the future of our country.
Well, in all this, you still get time to do certain things for yourself. Which one especially do you love to do?
Oh, I love traveling.
Traveling
is my thing.
That's work. It's part of your work.
No.
It's not. Okay.
Traveling, so let me just qualify the travel then.
Okay.
Travel and adventure. The adventure. So I've done certain crazy things that I think, gosh, why did I even get myself involved in this?
Number one.
I can't swim. Why was I in a submarine, for example? What am I doing at the bottom of the sea looking at fish?
Just to look at fish.
Just to look at fish.
Hey.
Why have I put on a harness and abseiling across Joburg's mountains, looking at mountains? What if I fall down?
Sure, dear.
I am, but I think it's that.
You just have to get the experience.
Yeah.
What kind of adventure is that? Well, it takes us to the DIY segment here on the Kel Toothpaste PO show. She gets time to do other things as well.
Yes.
Watch.
Mommy.
Mama Josie.
Fe.
Different era, better result. Time has changed and time has brought Kel Charcoal Toothpaste, healthy gums, anti-cavity, fresher breath, and it whitens teeth. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste, Sankofa,
Yenchi, Kel Chocolate Toothpaste.
happy smile.
Hello and welcome to my DIY segment. Today we're going to be planting one of my favorite things to eat, kontomire. And kontomire is a very nutritious plant. What I would recommend is you get obviously a cutlass, a little knife, and then you dig a hole of about 3 inches. Once I'm able to get all the roots in, I compact the soil and voila! I'm giving it a little water because kontomire actually enjoys having a lot of water to grow. Ideally, if you want to grow kontomire, I would suggest you do it, especially in the raining seasons. I hope that I've inspired you at least to just throw some seeds on the ground, just like I do. I'm no big farmer, as it were, but I do my bit to plant food for myself and my family, which we enjoy immensely.
Wow. So how many kontomire plants do you have?
Quite a few, actually.
Green pepper.
Yes.
Kontomire into
My husband's favorite. Yes.
So you just go there, pick a few and then
yes,
that's it.
We have a bedroom. turkey berries as well.
With the my few lessons on Apawu process ni na day.
Oh, process ni no ani je ne o meko ne won chen kakra. Ne o ko bibi a wo di twim. O penso kra e bia kate bi. Ani twim na fe o kontomi no steamy.
It's interesting that you can do Apawu as well.
Yes.
Wow, all round.
Me a chiniba.
And DIY is brought to you by Kale Charcoal Toothpaste, and you saw a lot of soil there. You know, back in the day, they used to use the plantain peduncle, dip in charcoal, and then give you that white teeth. That's what our grandmothers used to do. Now you don't have to go through all that process. All that you need to do is to get Kale Charcoal Toothpaste. It gives you that white teeth that you're looking for with that old process. It's also FDA approved. You just use it for a while and you realize that you have the white teeth, and that's all you need to do. And it's safe for the entire family as well. It gives you that fresh breath, lasting breath the whole day. And it's Kale Charcoal Toothpaste. Kale, it's a happy smile. So you travel, you plant, you are a small scale farmer. Maybe in the coming days, we'll get to give you the National Farmers Award. Okay, yes. That's interesting. So there are a few people that you've been mentioning all through. Yeah, I know that your siblings are very close to you, but there's somebody I want you to meet.
Okay.
Also, that we'll have a brief interaction with. It's our surprise segment.
Okay.
Do you love surprises?
No.
Why? Why don't you like surprises?
Because I don't know how I'm going to react, but yes, it's good.
We'll go on Zoom at this
Okay.
point. I have a few people that I would love you to meet.
It's my sister and Nadine.
Hello there, Nadine and Vida.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, sis. Hi, Dean.
Nadine,
It's nice to see them.
how would you describe your mother? I want to know what kind of mother she is to you.
She's definitely energetic. She's very motivated and inspiring as well, and a pushy mother at times.
How pushy? What levels does she take you?
I know that she always wants the best for us, so therefore it's like you have to ensure that you're doing your best that you can of yourself. And so that's where I think the pushy comes from. I think she knows both of our limits, my brother and I. She knows what we're capable of. So she's always, encouraging us to be the best that we can. Sometimes that comes across pushy because you don't want to do it, or you're second guessing yourself. But then I guess that's because she knows her children and she wants to make sure that we're, fulfilling our goals as well.
Well, that's interesting. Vida, what kind of sister would you say she is?
Letitia has been a role model to me. She's very dedicated in whatever she does, and she's very God-fearing, and she's got a good sense of humor. We do have a lot of laughs.
Oh, yes.
So Letitia is someone that she's an all-rounder. And she's always been there for not just me, but all the siblings. She's very dedicated and committed and trustworthy. You could go to her in confidence and she'd advise you and tell you exactly where you need to go. If it's wrong, she'll tell you. She'll call a spade. And if it's right, she will tell you. So she's very transparent and very, very fair. Recently, I was telling her to do something for me. And I was telling her, sis, come on, are you on my side or the other person's side? She told me, Vida, it's about equality and fairness. So that's Letitia for you. She'll tell you the truth, and she'll tell you, irrespective whether she knows you as a family or a friend or a stranger, she would be clear and she'll tell you exactly how it is. And she likes to empower people as well. So that's Letitia for you.
Well, Dean, I know you've talked about how pushy she is, knowing your potential and all. If you were to tell Mommy something live on television, what would it be?
I would say, always remember that you're blooming awesome, and we love you. Thank you for everything that you do. As much as I like to pretend that I'm not like you, I am like you. And I wouldn't be the woman that I am today if it wasn't for always, you're my biggest cheerleader. So thank you, Mum, and I love you.
I love you too, Mim.
Nadine and Vida, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having us as well. It's such a pleasure.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Happy Sunday.
Bye. Well, that's Vida and Nadine. I could see that you're so happy to see them.
Yes.
What kind of memories did they bring you?
Oh, great memories. I speak with them virtually every day, which is awful, especially Nadine.
But you weren't expecting to see them?
No, I wasn't expecting to see
them. They had some
them.
nice words for you. Pushy mom.
Yes.
How far do you push them?
I push them as much as their capacity allows them to. And I think that is the essence of coaching or arguably mentoring, where there is so much power that lies within each and every one of us. And you just need somebody to shine a light on that path for you to explore the limits of, the horizons that you could reach.
I'm sure there are some young ones out there, including myself, watching you right now. We need some pushing.
Yes.
In a minute or two, how would you want to push us?
I'll push you to say, take every experience that comes your way. I find in the Ghanaian setting in particular, we turn our nose on opportunities, and we tend to want to think working in an office, wearing a suit is the be all and end all. But really, experience comes from anything. All experience is useful. You shouldn't always be gunning for the money in the first instance when you're a young professional. You should be seeking to garner all sorts of experiences that you can get. Because once you get all those portfolio of experiences, then you can name your number. So, that's my advice to young people. I want to also then advise on the other side, there's the HR role is evolving, and we need to put center front and forward health, safety and well-being of our workforce. And if COVID has taught us anything, that is very paramount. We need to also equip our staff with skills that are going to make them future ready, so that we don't get into a stage where there was an acceleration of digitization and people didn't even know how to work Zoom because they didn't even know Zoom existed, for example. I'll encourage us to read a lot. The power of 5 hours at least every week. You should try and read something to grow yourself. And above all, mindsets. Have a growth mindset. So anytime you have a lesson in what we would say is failure. Failure is an opportunity to springboard going forward for something even more bigger. So see failures as opportunities, not as the thing that is going to make you hide under your table and say, I'm not going to try anymore. If you try and don't succeed, try again, but maybe try something different. Don't try the same way that you failed in.
Ladies and gentlemen, Letitia Asiedu-Attafuah, Head of HR, American Tower Corporation, Ghana. Our guests on the Kel Toothpaste PL show for today. You've inspired, you've pushed us. More importantly, we're grateful that you're able to join us today for the show. Of course, like we do for every phenomenal lady that comes on the show. This too, since Utichi now Tiasieno. We're giving you this. Some friend Asesegwa. Yes. Asesegwa we yedemau. To let you know, always to remind you that you're indeed a phenomenal lady. And this is from us to you.
Thank you.
Many thanks for joining us. And that's not all. Do you like it? Do you like it? I wish it was big enough for you to sit on.
I think it's fantastic. Hey, you never know. I've got a small bum. I might just about. It's fantastic. It's really beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah, from us to you. I'm glad you appreciate it. And that's not all. We have our Kel 360. Kel Charcoal and Kel Kids Toothpaste. All this just for you.
Thank you.
And the family. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kel. We're really grateful. We know the importance of charcoal. I just remember putting charcoal in my benkwine when it's going off.
Yes.
Yes. So it tells you that if you can put it in a benkwine and eat it, then you can definitely use it to brush your teeth. So thank you very much, Kel. I'm looking forward to using it.
Thank you so much once again
for
being with us here on the show. We look forward to having you again and continue to inspire and continue to stay phenomenal. And that's how we wrap up today's show, Kel Toothpaste PL show. I wanted more, but that's all time will allow us. Another edition comes your way, same time. Have a good evening.
Odona kama commemorate. Paint, smile, mami chanche. Faint, kron vera dio saint. Ompento kwa kasa ne complaint. They, you know they give me pressure. Your love I no fit measure. I go and diamond treasure. Merci beaucoup, my pleasure.